welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're playing Alien again tonight, continuing our Cinders of Heaven campaign. We've got a couple different chapters in this game already, but we're starting a brand new one tonight. So if you've never watched before, perfect time to start. You don't have to know anything about the other two, chapters 1 and chapters 2. You can just start fresh here, new story, new crew, etc., etc. Though if you've watched our first 2 chapters, you're going to get some in-jokes and some references to people and places and things that might make it more rewarding for you. And if you are watching for the first time, whether you're watching live or whether you're on YouTube, maybe check out the other ones at some point too. But we'll dive into that in a moment. We got a bunch of people to introduce. So the crew is the same, but the layout is different. Characters a little different too. But why don't we just go around? You can say who you're playing. Don't worry about describing them too much. We'll do that during the course of like an opening little cinematic thing. And then, just say who you're playing, what rank they are, something like that, like basic stuff. And then anything you have to plug, go ahead and do that. And we'll start with the Master Sergeant, the NCOIC, Melissa. Who are you?
So I'm Melissa with Adventures in Lollygagging. You can catch us on this channel. Every other Monday we play Alien, and we had just wrapped up a Things from the Flood. On Fridays we generally play Delta Green, and on Saturdays we generally play Worlds Without Number. As mentioned, I'm in charge this chapter, Master Sergeant Margot Barrett. And that's me.
Yep. And what was your we're using the Colonial Marines manual, and one of the things is there's MOSs, like different specialties of these Marines. So just tell us, what MOS did you pick? It's former, so that's not really what you focus on anymore as the NCOIC. But what did you pick?
CBRN specialist.
Perfect. Let's keep it going. Chuck, who are you?
Hi, I'm Chuck. Nice to meet all of you. I run the Defenders of Cobalt, where we play games on the internet. That's what we do. I am the staff sergeant here, and I am also the dedicated marksman. I'm playing Staff Sergeant Eric Koenig, and I don't know about all of you, but I've met turds with more grit.
It's a good line. I really like that line.
So good.
It's disgusting too if you really think
disgusting.
About it. Like, how did he know that the turds had so much grit in them? Don't ask those questions.
Just eat enough peanuts, you'll know what I mean.
Or a lot of grits.
It's true. All right. Next up. So I've put the layout in terms of relative rank within their unit. And so the top 3 are all sergeant or above. And so the final sergeant is Jen. Who are you playing?
Hey everybody, I am playing Sergeant Zoe Ripper, and she's a Comtech Marine.
And I dropped a link to Jen's channel.
Thank you so much. I'm so out of practice.
It's all good. It's been a month. We've been off for like a month for this game.
It's been a long time. I have a Twitch channel, Pixel Preller. I have not been streaming as of like the last month because of events I went to, and then summer events equals heat stroke and stuff and poison ivy, all the fun stuff. So we will be back tomorrow night though for a double feature of gaming. So
awesome.
Check us out.
Awesome. Bottom row, we start getting into, they're here, like, but are they really that important? No, just teasing. We got Adam. Adam, who are you playing and what's going on?
Hey there, I'm Adam. I'm playing Abbott, the synth corpsman, hospital corpsman, and I'm just here to kind of keep everyone together, physically, mentally, emotionally, just to be there. A really comforting presence, as everyone always trusts the synth.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, clearly.
We've never had anything with synths in this campaign that was suspect. Like all synths are we're cool.
In my experience, they're very classy.
Very classy.
Yeah. What I'd like to plug is Grim Perla Studios is working with Andrews McNeil to run some Zweihander and Flames of Freedom games. If you happen to be a GM and are interested in running that for us and with us for Gen Con, we do have a sign up sheet, and there's some cool swag that you'll get from Andrews McMill Universal if you sign up. And we'd love to see you, get to know you, talk to you, and run games with you.
Awesome. And that link is in the chat, goes to the Gen Con signups. Awesome. Okay, let's keep going. Everybody's favorite first person to die. It's pretty much what all of the runaway vote getter. He's the runaway vote getter for like first to die in this campaign. It's Matt. Matt, who are you?
I'm gonna surprise you this time.
Live the whole time. The whole time.
I hope so.
We'll see. We'll see. Or maybe, I'll keep the streak going. This is what the people want, and I'm a man of the people. So I'll die first.
There you go. There you go.
But I am playing Dexter Hutchinson, and I am the forward observer. I'm going to be the scout for this this crew. So I am going to be front line. So I'm probably going to be the first to die. That's just the way it's going to be. But I got Claymore backing me up. He's back there behind me with the heavy artillery. I trust him. And Edgy Eric, who's my buddy in the crew. He's my eyes at a long distance. He'll pop those soldiers when they get close to me, or xenomorphs, whatever Jeff's got lined up for us. And what I got going on tomorrow night, running spectaculars over on Garblight Games at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Blades in the Dark at 9 on Wednesday on Garblight Games.
Thursday
on Garblight Games. Thank you, Jeff, because you're in it.
Yes.
Thank you for,
not this week,
not here
but
this
normally
week.
I will be. Yeah. Okay. And last, but certainly least, we have Jeremy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited to be at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm going to be Heckler, AW Claymore. I'm the assault marine and the breacher, and I'm here to enforce whatever Master Sergeant Mama Bear tells me to do. And, also, if you like comic books, you should go to Kickstarter and check out Black Blizzard. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Links in the chat.
Yeah.
Twice. Awesome. Yeah. I feel like when I inevitably kill Jeremy's character, people are going to get mad. They're gonna miss your voice.
No, they won't.
They're going to miss your voice. Yeah, they are.
Especially if there's choppers involved.
What would happen if we put Arnold into Alien? We're going to find out. I'm going to find out. Okay. So let's get started. So we're going to start sort of cinematically. I like to do this nonsense like opening credit stuff. So we're going to start with, you guys have already been en route to your mission, which we're going to go over in a sec, but you're en route, and get a little Nostromo music action going here. But you've already been on a mission. You've already been en route to your mission. And we're starting with you all just waking up from cryo as per usual. But we're not going to dive into your dreams or anything like that. But basically we're going to kind of montage. And I'm kind of curious, what's the first thing everybody does when they get out of cryo? Now, your ship, we should kind of clarify, you are a special forces crew, special ops, and you are on specific assignment to a General Alexander Reddick out of Marine Space Force Eridani to do various important tasks that aren't necessarily frontline combat, but sometimes sneaky, but definitely an array of different things. And so you all are on a small, stealthy ship. You are on a what's called a Mantis class ship, which means that there's a very small crew of only 10. There's 6 of you. There's a pilot by the name of Lewis Forrester. There's a roughneck who we'll introduce later. There is an intelligence officer, and then there is an extra Marine. So once you all die, you'll have some variety to pick from who the next one you'll play with. So it's a very small crew with very specific mission goals. And so everybody kind of knows everybody. You've worked before together. This isn't like your again, not your first rodeo. It's definitely also something that you've all worked together. So you're good at what you do. 100%. So I'm curious, what's the first thing when you all get out of cryo? What's the first thing all of you do? So like just really quick, just one quick thing. Like what's like first thing you check? Do you go get food? Do you go work out? Do you go drop a deuce? Do you go, sharpen a knife? What is it you do first thing? Anyone have an idea?
Yeah, well, it's two things, but I do what I goddamn want. First thing is I go get some coffee. Fuck all of you talking to me before I've had coffee. Second thing is I go clean my rifle.
Okay. All right. And then somebody else. So I got Koenig is doing a rifle cleaning and coffee. All right. What else is everybody doing? First thing you do.
Hutch is gonna join Eric because it's his buddy. But he's gonna give him his space. He's gonna let him get his coffee, and then he's gonna join him in the armory, and he's gonna be in there, and he's gonna be just double checking his weapons, polishing them, playing with his knife, his signature weapon's a knife, a marine knife, digging dirt out of his nails, and just making idle chit chat with Eric.
Okay. All right. So we've got two. You're in the armory making idle chit chat, checking your weapons. What else is everybody doing? Just collecting a list so that when I do a little cinematic opening, I can reference it.
I think I'll put on my headset. Just kind of hum along, going to the mess. Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging. And then I'll get some coffee, one for myself and one for Mama Bear, and go take it to her.
Okay. Everyone's getting
so
Mama Bear.
What Claymore will find when he brings the coffee is you see she is kind of tucking in kind of where you expect kind of her dog tags, but she has extra dog tags that she kind of checks as a kind of a ritual before kind of any mission, and she's got a couple of extra ones.
Okay, so you're checking dog tags. Okay, got it. All right, so Adam and Jen, I need something. What is it y'all are doing while you're...
Abbott is standing there looking awkwardly at Claymore while he's holding two coffee mugs. Ah, I thought I would prepare your morning ritual for you two, seeing as how I've had nothing but spare time.
I like it.
Hate you so damn much. Get out of my way.
Very well. Here's some extra for you if your first cups are not sufficient.
Don't touch my coffee, toaster.
Would you like me to bring some jam?
Yes, but be quiet while you do it.
Very well. And I will go and I will fetch some pectin-enriched sweet stuff to put on some bread.
Nice.
Okay. And
As long
then...
as there's pectin.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
I will double check all of my gear because that's what you do. And I guess if there's free coffee just hanging around, I'll take the extra cup.
Okay. All right. So I'm trying to get the music going while you're doing this. The music is not working for some reason. Let's try a different track here. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment while I try to get this right.
Yeah, you made a coffee talk reference.
Oh, now listen here, Hutch. This goddamn rifle's clean. Like after taking a deuce on a toilet with a bidet. Goddamn clean, son.
Probably your reference is going to be about poop. Out of character.
Either poop or Shrek. Just wait till I get that first kill. Stay out of my swamp, boy. It's going to be amazing. Not like my ex-wife's oldest. That kid was goddamn useless. God. Worst 6-year-old I've ever met.
I think it's time I probably jump in. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with music tonight, so maybe it'll kick in, maybe it won't. If not, let's just get going. Okay, so picture then, cinematic opening. We start. We're doing the classic. We see the ship floating through space. We're watching what is actually a relatively small ship. It's only about maybe half a football field in length, something like that, about 150 feet in length, 44 meters, a couple decks here and there. It's sleek. Its purpose is to get in and out, to jump blockades, to be undetected, which is very important for the mission that you're currently on, because you have these little stealth, like these panels along your hull that help kind of like deter radar from kind of catching you here and there. You even have some armaments on the ship. That's a first for us. You have some missiles, a handful, very expensive missiles. We'll dive in that if we ever do ship combat, Gatling guns, etc. But while all of you are waking up, and so the rest of us are visualizing everyone waking up, at getting out, everyone's going, getting coffee, exercising, changing, getting showered, all that kind of stuff, checking their weapons, switching out their sleep clothes for their actual gear. They're getting ready to have like final briefing. We have this like voiceover, and it's of your kind of command, the commanding officer, the one who kind of controls and has given you this mission. So all of that is happening. We've got Abbott awkwardly having an interaction with Claymore. Claymore almost lovingly bringing Barrett coffee. Hutch and Koenig messing around with weapons, cleaning barrels, checking ammo. And we hear this kind of old Southern man's voice kind of come on as all of this is happening. I'm going to go ahead and share this with all of you so you can read along. You don't have to just follow along with me, but you can now see your mission briefing. So it sounds a little like this. It says, so just imagine you're just picturing this, you're hearing this. Several weeks passed. Reports surfaced suggesting Hyperdyne Systems had lost control of its synthetics factory on GL488A. Who has control now and for what purpose remains unclear. Communication from an ICC inspector, one Stephen Rutland, reached the network, claiming the synthetics themselves have usurped their engineers and become violent. Any report of synthetic on human violence is disturbing if true. It would not be the first time Hyperdyne has flaunted the 51 New Deal's restrictions on behavioral inhibitors. With the Seekson working Joe Mess and the UPP now running David models into combat, reports of synthetic uprising need attention. And you hear like a long, you can't see it, you just hear a long like pull on like a cigar. You hear a little clinking of like a glass, and it puts down, and you hear, and so we paid it. Colonial marshals are in the command of Cynthia Lau, supported by Marines from our Anchor Point Station garrison, took the USS Asteria to investigate Rutland's claims. But follow-up with Rutland is impossible now, it seems, as he's nowhere to be found. Neither is his ship, the USCSS Rhadamanthus. They dropped off network completely, despite filing a destination plan for Anchor Point. Now, one overdue commercial ship isn't immediate cause for concern, nor does it rise to the level of requiring my and your unit's attention. What does rise to my attention is the disappearance of a $265 million Bougainville-class attack transport and the 40 Marines and Marshals sent to squash this Hyperdyne mess. They're overdue. And off-network, no mission completion report, hell, not even an arrival notification. As for GL488, it's a damn black hole for communications. No signals in, no signals out. I know Cynthia Lau. She's former USCMC. We served together. This is not her first damn rodeo. So your mission, you hear, head to GL488. Ascertain who controls the factory, and if these reports of violent synthetics are true. Hyperdyne demands proprietary equipment and data be handled with sensitivity. But in my book, if you can't control your house, you don't get to dictate how we put it back in order. Still, keep the infrastructure unharmed. Master Sergeant Barrett has operational command, but I'm sending Intelligence Officer Theo Ellis with you. get him into the Hyperdyne databases. I want to know what they've been doing. Something doesn't feel right, and my instincts are telling me there's more danger here than we know. I do not enjoy ignorance, Marines. Ellis is my authority to redirect the mission if necessary. And then you hear, and Marines, find my fucking shit. And at that point, like, we're in, like, the briefing room, like this small little, like, conference room somewhere on your ship, which you have decided to call the Chum Bucket. The hammerheads are gathered. You have arrived in system, GL488. You get word down as a very excitable young pilot calls down to those of you who are being briefed and says arrival is imminent. Should be an hour. You hear from your roughneck down in one of the cargo bays, who's currently kind of going through a variety of checking on the vehicles that you all have in case they're needed. And we've got Master Sergeant Barrett, who is like out in front, kind of walking back through everything. And that's when that young pilot comes on. He's like, Master Sergeant, it's Forrester here. Yeah, there's something in orbit around GL488A. You all might want to come take a look at this.
Yes, we will be on our way momentarily. Gather everyone. Let's go. Take a look.
Let's see what's got his knickers in a bunch.
It's probably nothing, but just in case.
Knowing that kid. He jumps at his own farts. I've seen him do it.
He does. He'll learn.
So those of you who feel like going up to the bridge, you go right ahead. It's a very small bridge. It probably doesn't accommodate 6 or 7 people at the same time, but a couple of you probably can get up there. You hear, you hear a request from down in cargo bay from a woman, kind of a gruff voice. She's like, I could use a hand down here if you want to be able to get to where you need to go when you land. And anybody who wants to go lend a hand, like checking in on the various vehicles that you have 2 of them, can go do so.
Don't really feel like chewing on farts. Permission to go down and help, ma'am.
Permission granted.
Thank you.
I think I could be of assistance in this matter too.
God damn it.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'll go this one.
So Abbott and Claymore head down to the cargo bays. Barrett and Koenig, you're on the bridge. Ripper, Hutch, any particular places you're going?
I'll just linger in the doorway so I'm not taking up any space.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna hang back in the hallway connecting to it, but no real interest going in there.
Okay. So up on the bridge, which again is a small console for the pilot, and then there's like 2 seats behind them where you can kind of have like 2 other people. It's almost like a 757 or 747 cockpit. It's that kind of tight in there, a little bit bigger maybe, but you've got your intelligence officer just got a cigarette dangling from his mouth in the corner, kind of leaning up, arms kind of crossed, staying out of the way, kind of maybe back with Hutch to some degree. And as you come in, you see this pilot Forrester's kind of showing you the data. He's like, yeah, man, we got a vessel in debris. It looks like in orbit. But I need someone who can actually run the scans. If you want me to get us up there quiet, I can't necessarily do both things at once.
Absolutely, we'll have someone take care of that. Is there any identification on that ship?
Yeah, they're not signaling anything. It's pretty small, whatever it is. Well, about the same size of us, maybe. I don't know. But no chatter either. I haven't hailed, kept it quiet. But I can. If you want me to hail him, I can.
I think we should try and Barrett will turn around and see Ripper just sort of kind of hanging out behind. Ripper, is there anything you can do to get up some communications?
Yeah, let me take a look.
Do we want to start with communications or do some scans first? See if there's signs of anyone on there.
Well, it seems like our young Forrester here needs to focus on his piloting, so I was hoping that Ripper could take care of the...
Ripper can still do the scans better than I
Yep.
can.
How about I do 2 birds, 1 stone?
Let us know what you find.
Ripper, go ahead and roll Comtech. Okay. So you get on one of the other consoles. You start going through best you can, trying to dig through the signals that you're getting, which you're getting a constant bunch of interference, hard to dig through. You can't really identify any sort of specific source of why you're having such trouble. But you are certain of 2 things. You're certain that ship out there is not the Asteria, which is the marine ship that you're looking for, and it also seems to just be like kind of floating in a decaying orbit. It's like a low orbit, and it's sort of decaying, whatever it is. There is some debris that you're kind of picking up as you're pinging off like radar. Some of it is considerable in size, a decent amount, decent size, but most of it is it doesn't look like there's been a huge, it's not like it's like taking up like a whole section of space, but there is some that's sort of revolving around it. So whatever ship this is, it's either suffered damage or it's kind of caught up in some sort of space debris.
That ain't no Asteria, and it's got some debris coming off it.
Did I hear something
Got some
about
damage.
a decaying orbit, as in at some point it will be down on the surface?
Its orbit's all whack.
With 1 success, you don't necessarily know how much time it's going to take for that to happen, but I mean, that is what decaying orbit means, yeah. Meanwhile, Abbott and Claymore, you went down into the cargo bay. There's a couple different cargo bays on your ship, and you have 2 vehicles that you have access to. One is an ATV, and one is a gyro car. The ATV, I think I put both vehicles in the players folder so you can kind of see them. But the ATV can usually, I think it's got like seats for 4 or 5, and the gyro car can seat 2. The gyro car is also the thing that can actually go vertical if necessary at times. Sort of experimental little device. But you see that there is a woman here who is probably about 6 feet tall, big broad shoulders, got like kind of coveralls. What's her name again there, Adam?
Ah, yes. Hello, Eurydice.
No. Well, if it isn't Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Anyhow, y'all gonna come give me a hand with this? She's got like this big old spanner, and she's trying to affix onto your ATV like a 20 millimeter Gatling gun, just kind of sitting it right on top. I could use a hand.
Are you sure you would like just one?
Just tell us what you need to do and ignore this.
I need you to. Can you just hold this, please, while I bolt this down? And so she's like, both of you are holding it, and she just kind of lets go, pulls like a little pack of cigarettes out. She's just kind of like, well, isn't this just sweet? And then finally she goes over and she gets her bolt gun and she starts adhering it. Either of you have...
I'm going to stomp on your toes.
So you guys spend a little time. I'll have her roll it really quick. I'm curious if she passes. But if she passes this with your guys' help, you'll have an extra gun on your... Yeah, you have an extra gun on your ATV.
Nice.
Back up on the bridge. You guys have gotten a little bit closer What are your orders, ma'am? Do we want to go down to the surface? Do we want to take up orbit?
I'll kind of look over at Koenig and say it seems like if this isn't a decaying orbit, we might want to get some more information on it before it comes crashing down on our heads.
Yeah. When that hits the dirt, there ain't going to be nothing left of it. We going on a spacewalk, or are you going to try and dock us to that death trap?
And with that, I will look over at the young forester and just say, are you capable of a ship-to-ship, or?
Well, I mean,
we
we're
walk this one?
capable. I don't know if it's capable. Like we've got umbilical. It's fine, but I mean, I don't. We don't know the status of that one as much.
Any chance we could tow that thing into a higher orbit and give it a little more time?
Maybe, but y'all better. Someone's gonna have to get over there and attach some tow cables the old-fashioned way.
I
I think we might as well check it out while we're over there. If we're gonna
Yeah.
have to go anyway, let's just get everyone together and make a plan. We'll
Okay.
have to hold off a little bit on going to
Yeah,
planet side.
this will be fun.
Okay.
I've been in worse messes. You should have had my ex-wife's casserole.
Beads of sweat are starting to show up on Ripper's forehead.
What's showing up on your forehead?
Beads of sweat.
Okay.
Which I think I said.
Who's doing the EVA?
I'll do it.
Okay, Koenig. Anybody else?
Hutch, you in on this?
Yeah. I'll go. The hell? What kind of shitty pilot they put us with here? Some kind of novice? Where's a regular pilot? Doesn't know if they can do this, doesn't know if they can do that. What the hell is this?
We all started somewhere. I think we can take what we have, and
I'm saying this loud enough so Forrester can hear it and looking at them.
which is why I'm saying loud enough so we can hear.
Under
I
his
think
breath,
we can
under
do
his
what
breath,
we
he's
need
like,
to
under his breath, he's like, your other pilot's dead. He tried to do a fancy maneuver and damn near crashed the
Yeah,
plane
at least
down.
he had
into-
balls.
Not no more, he does.
Do you
I
use those too in
think
the
at
crash?
least one of them were buried with him.
Oh,
I didn't
let's
hear
just,
that.
And I kind of shoo everyone out. Like,
Okay.
let's let him focus on what he's doing, and
All
let's
right.
get this going.
So who? You don't all have to do it, but who wants to make a little EVA jump here?
Come on.
Koenig,
Hutch and I
Hutch.
got this.
Okay.
Two of us, we got more moral fiber than my morning constitutionals. No goddamn problem.
You can never just say yes or no, can you? There's
No.
always got to be more to it.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys both suit up. Forrester pulls into a closer position. He's comfortable putting you with all this debris flying around.
And now we get a
Thanks,
complication.
Bert. Thank you, Bert. Excellent. So you guys, the two of you jump out into the into orbit, and I would like both of you to go ahead. First of all, take a point of stress as you are now floating in space, well above this moon. And then I would like you both to make mobility tests as you try to maneuver your way through some of this incredibly fast-moving debris over towards this other ship.
I done pulled it off.
Okay, that's one
Not a goddamn problem.
and two. Both of you got it. It's not impressive. To be honest,
No.
as you're
Neither
going
was my
across,
first wife.
as you're going across, you're definitely moving quite slowly. Every now and then the con comes up, and you hear the little kid be like, "And they called me cowardly. Look at them. It's like are they walking a dog on a Sunday afternoon?
Boy, I heard that.
I don't see you out here, kid.
You want to fly the ship?"
I'm gonna fly your ass to the moon. You keep talking.
And Barrett will just jump in and be like, "Can you focus on what you're doing, please?"
So Koenig and Hutch, as you get close, you realize the type of ship this is. It's what's called, actually, I mean, you both, actually, no, I think you guys would know. I'm not going to make you roll. It looks like an orbital lifter. It doesn't look like a proper ship. It looks more like a surface to orbit transport, meaning something that if there were, goods that needed to be unloaded from a ship that was in orbit that couldn't make planetfall, they would send up a planet, one of these lifters to retrieve said goods and bring them down, or vice versa. And that's what looks like what's happening here, is that this is floated ground. It's a fairly large, like just flat ship, with the exception of like one side of the ship is just like a single hub, like a small little cab area. There's this large arching arm, looks like a crane arm, that has been ripped clear of the lifter itself, and you guys also see that there is some of these like what look like big old storage crates, canisters, shipping containers, things like that are kind of loosely cabled and adhering to various lines as they're just sort of floating in space, not yet detached from whatever was strapping down. Both of you roll an observation test to see if you get anything else besides that. That was fast. Okay.
Pull them together.
Yeah, but you're panicking a little bit.
Slow burn.
Okay. So both of you, so you got 2 successes. Both of you notice what looks like as you're kind of landing down on the platform itself and starting to pull yourselves across. You're noticing that there are huge chunks of the platform missing, as if something has caused part of the platform to just be ripped free and wrenched from it. And then for the other success for the 2 of you, you see that there actually looks like bullet holes on some of the canisters. You can see what looks like explosive residue. This lifter, you're not sure if this happened in orbit or on surface, but this lifter has suffered significant damage from some kind of gunfire, weapon fire, ordnance, that kind of thing. But it also looks like the cab is intact. Like you don't see any major damage to it.
Any viewports or anything on the front of that we can see into?
Yeah, there's one viewport that looks to be looking out on think of it like the back of the ship is sort of like the truck cab, and everything in front is the flatbed, and there's like a small porthole that looks to be kind of little smudged up, but there is one that kind of looks out onto the storage area.
Well, looks like someone had a party. Let's quit darkening the doorway and get on in.
Okay. So you guys start pulling yourselves over. Meanwhile, back on the ship, back on the chum bucket, really got to accentuate the CH. The rest of you, those of you on the bridge, so Barrett and Ripper, you're on the bridge when you get some sort of strange kind of signal starts to emit from one of your consoles, Ripper. You can see that you think you might be getting scanned from surface.
Is there a way I can dig into that a little bit further?
Yeah, it's another ComTech.
Okay. I'm pushing it. I'm not liking that at all.
Okay. So you can see that there is there's some kind of radar signal coming down from the surface specifically, and you can actually pinpoint it relative to like the Hyperdyne compound. But from what you can tell, it's not like they're just doing sort of a broad scan. From what you can tell, it doesn't look like they know exactly who's out there or what's out there, but they seem to be suspecting that somebody might be out there, or it's just automated, one of the two. So it's like you don't think they've seen you specifically, but they're looking. And the longer you kind of wait up here in this area, the greater the likelihood that kind of broad sweeping assessment might catch you guys.
It barely looks like they're sweeping the area. If we stay up here, they're gonna find us.
Can you give us a location on where that's coming from?
They're right here. I'll point to it.
Okay. So she'll get on comms over to Hutch and Koenig and say, So we're being scanned from down below. So if there's anything that means to do us harm, they're gonna know we're here shortly. So the quicker you can do this, the better.
Yeah, here's the coordinates right here.
I don't need coordinates right now, but I gotta tell you, they had one hell of a party over here. This thing's got small and large arms fire against it.
I could have told you that.
Well,
The debris, man.
Can you tell if the directionality was coming up from the surface or from another ship?
is that anything I can defer from this?
Not really, no.
Yeah. Nah, this thing's spinning. Who knows where it started at and who knows where it's going to end.
Well,
Sir, are we done
Probably
here?
with your lunch.
Are we done here? Can we go back to the ship?
Did we open this up and head in yet?
Yeah, so you guys are at... One of you has to roll a heavy machinery, please.
We're both terrible at that, aren't we?
Yeah,
I
we
know.
are.
You know who's good at that.
Why don't you take this one? I'll give you the backup there. Come on, you got it.
Pushed. All right, there we go.
Okay. So the two of you probably, Koenig standing behind and then sees you struggling at this point, and Hutch, you hear, kind of blipping in on the radio, what the hell's taking them so long, Master Sergeant? As the little pilot kid continues, checking it out, you guys. And then it gives you that extra anger to, you just kind of pop it open. And as you do, you realize there likely was atmosphere in here. You're not sure if it was oxygen or CO2 or whatever, but you get a rush of whoosh, kind of gas. Quickly grab onto the side of something so you don't kind of get pushed away with it. And you have a cab that's probably about, maybe 15 feet in width, and maybe about 8 feet in height. And it's got a depth of probably another 10 feet or so. There's a whole mess load of consoles. It looks like there's some for controlling the crane, some for controlling the actual ship. Then there's a series of cabinets and things like that, various storage here and there. But yeah, you see immediately that there's been the signs of struggle in here. You can see that there's kind of frozen flecks of blood. Looks like damage to the console, and most notably, there is this floating, frozen body in a Enviro suit that both of you would recognize as standard issue for Colonial Marines.
Oh, shit. We need to take him back.
What's
Why don't we...
here? What do we get ourselves into?
It's another glorious day in the Corps. Why don't we see if we can get this thing fired up? Maybe Abbott can pull some information from it remotely.
Okay. So you move up to one of the consoles. You kind of start moving around, see what you can do. Either of you can roll a comm-tech for this. See if you can get this thing started. Or figure out what's wrong with it.
I can take this one. I made you do the last one.
Okay.
Are you sure? I got 5 in wits.
You take this one.
I'm built of wits. You start, and I just kind of nah, I got this. Push you aside.
That's good.
Oh my god.
No. I told you we were going to get Matt first. Keeping it together.
I'm holding together. I'm
Still
holding together.
panicking a little bit. So you see Hutch he's underneath the console itself, and he's kind of ripping apart panels. Different wires are hanging down. And Koenig, you're just kind of standing nearby, or maybe you're trying to get control of the floating marine.
Yeah.
And that's when I need you to roll an observation. Which one of you has the lower observation?
My observation is setting at a 5.
It'll be his. I have 8.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll
8 total.
observation.
3 in observation, but yeah.
All right. 2 success.
All right. Okay. You kind of vaguely, you don't hear it so much as kind of feel the sudden vibration of something behind you. And when you turn around, you see a figure just sort of in 0G, just sort of pushing themselves out of this container with a knife in hand. and is lunging forward towards you.
Oh shit! Can I get my sidearm and pop a shot?
Yeah, that's what that was for. So yeah, you quickly kind of grab a sidearm and you pop a shot. Now you should also know they're not wearing a suit.
Sin. Dirty
God.
Sin.
Yeah.
Okay, what's total damage?
Base damage is 1, 2 extra success, so that's 3 damage.
Okay. So then they're still up. So they're going to, as you fire point blank, you see like this white eruption of like droplets start spilling out into the cab as you're quite confident this is a synth. And they are going to hack down into you with their knife.
This is rude.
So that's...
This is how somebody dies. Szechuan. Ooh.
Misses.
There we
They
go.
stab into you,
Wow.
but you manage to, at the last second, kind of break it. Now, on the radio, since you guys are all on comms, Abbott, Claymore, Barrett, Ripper, you hear the sound of gunfire. Well, would you hear the sound of... I don't think you would hear the sound of gunfire, but you at the very least would start hearing them chatter like what the fuck is this? What the hell?
There's a
is
synth
this?"
Contact! We got contact!
Yeah.
Goddamn toasters after us.
So Hutch, you can do something, and then what are the four of you on the ship doing? Back on the chum bucket.
And how long is it going to take to suit up and get over there? I want to kill a toaster.
I'll give you guys credit as saying maybe you're already in, maybe like you were on standby, but it would probably, depending on how well you do with a mobility roll, take you anywhere between like 1 to say 5 rounds.
Let's do it. Abbott, why don't you come along? Watch me kill your brother.
Waiting for
Listen.
orders. Barrett,
He's of the
Let's
same
go.
model.
you don't want me to stay behind.
No. Let's go.
Okay. So Barrett and Ripper, you start running towards like one of the places where you can get in a suit. Abbott, Claymore, the two of you are popping out. Is that what you're doing? You're like just hurrying and trying to go join Hutch and Koenig?
Yeah, Abbott will just go straight out there.
Yeah, you're
I
fine.
mean, he'll use something to attach himself, but
Yeah.
he doesn't
Okay.
need a suit.
Abbott,
Did you finish what you needed to finish, Abbott and Claymore?
Yeah, we have an extra gun. It's amazing. Abbott didn't even screw it up.
Good to hear.
so the two of you go ahead and make mobility rolls. Hutch, what do you want to do inside the cab?
I would like to fire.
Okay. Yeah. So you're laying underneath, or like you're kind of turned upside down underneath this whatever this is, this console, and you quickly try to grab your sidearm and fire.
Did that work?
Where'd your stress go? Oh wait, no, that's sorry.
No,
that's
it didn't work. I clicked it, but it didn't go.
There you go. That'll do it.
I'm not going to push that.
Okay, so you just start wildly firing the heavy pulse rifle, and total damage.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So you
What
you
the
see, so that'll be a critical effect then.
Koenig!
So that'll be, let me get that up. As you lay into this thing, it will... You dislocate its head as you start firing. From underneath the console, you're like sticking the barrel out and just catching it. And the head just sort of snaps back from the force of the bullets. All fast actions become slow actions for it. Okay. Meanwhile, Koenig, we can come back to you if there's something you want to do.
If it's still moving, I'm still shooting.
Yeah, go ahead. Because now the entire cab is just getting more and more filled as
I
you...
got a little stress.
Okay, and your gun's out of ammo.
Damn.
I
Alright.
always forget that. I'm terrible for remembering that.
Keeping it together.
Okay, I'm going to roll another crit injury on this. Happened again. So severe chassis breach will be this one this time, because I think it just moves up one. So internal organs have started to spill out, and the android is just like, you can see it's just its motor functions. It's having trouble trying to reach to a specific section to push off. It's struggling with its sort of springboard of its limbs. But it's still within close proximity to at least one of you, enough where it can still take a swipe. And so I think it will do that as it tries to cut away at Koenig. with its knife.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Let me put an armor roll out there.
Yeah, go ahead and put your armor roll as it comes and just stabs like right into your chest and starts to drag it down.
It's also close combat. Koenig.
Remind me on that.
Dodge or
Mhm.
like attempt to dodge in close combat before you do your armor.
Oh, well, then can I still do that?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. We're remembering how to play.
Is that mobility? What is that?
I think it's close combat. I think it's just
Yeah.
a close
Close combat.
combat.
It's gonna be
yeah.
your fast action then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nah, I'll let my armor.
Okay. Your armor then will reduce it. So there's a total of 5 damage. Matt, remind me, is it the successes of armor reduce just the amount of damage, or do they cancel successes?
I think they cancel
They
successes,
cancel
don't
successes.
Okay, so 1 success still goes through, so it does 2 damage to you. Because I had 3 successes on my attack, your 2 armor will cancel, 1 will
Are
go
you
through.
broken?
they? I got 1 left. I'm still good.
All right.
Okay. So then, Claymore and Abbott, how'd you do on those mobility rolls?
Did not succeed.
Okay.
1, I believe. Let me scroll back up.
TPK.
Yeah, 1.
Okay. Claymore, you get out in front of Abbott, and you notice that one of these containers, these kind of cargo containers, one of the doors is just like hovering open, and you see like hands kind of reach off to the side and kind of pull itself out, and you see a person literally pulling themselves out of this cargo container at this point, and it's kind of just without suit is pulling themselves along the side of like one of these railings, going from like basically tether to tether as they're heading for the cab where you know Hutch and Koenig are. Claymore, we'll call it within long range, I would say, if there's something that you could potentially do at that range.
Okay, yeah, I do have a gun. I was really wanting to go up and crack his coconut, so, but I'll settle for shooting him.
Okay. Brace yourself up against a line or against a floating piece of debris so you don't get too much backfire from it. But go ahead.
All right, let me give that a go. Oh, that's right. I need to do it from inventory, so it actually uses the gun.
The cool sounds and stuff. Oh boy.
Die, Toaster! Die!
That will most certainly hit. What's total damage?
So is it just 1 extra damage for each success?
Yeah.
Okay,
If that's
so
what you
4.
want to do with it, yeah.
Yeah. So 4 and armor piercing, if that matters.
I'm sorry, 4 total damage? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, armor piercing is not going to matter. But yeah, 4 damage. Thank you, Lords and Ladies of Fate, for the raid. We are playing Alien, starting up a new campaign tonight, or a new chapter of our campaign tonight, and we're currently doing a combat on top of an orbital lifter that's up in space. They're fighting in space right now with guns and knives. This isn't going to be good for anybody. Barrett and Ripper, as the two of you are starting to gear up, you're hearing more chatter. Maybe Claymore or Abbott call out and say there's another, something else coming out of the container. Meanwhile, inside the cab, Hutch, you can take a action if you like.
I'm gonna aim.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot. This wasn't part of the mission, sir.
Okay. 4 total damage.
So 4 damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll again.
Not pushing it.
It's another head dislocation, and you guys, I will say this one moves up to system shutdown. So like you manage to aim as it kind of keeps pushing up 1, and you can see you just completely sever the thing right at its base. It's you can tell it's a young female model, short hair. You can tell that it's got what look like Hyperdyne Systems coverall clothing on it, like something an engineer might wear, and they've been ripped in 2. There is synth blood, that white blood just floating all over the place in here, smashing into your faces, your guns. It's just constant and everywhere inside. But you can see this one just sort of twitches and then eventually stops. Okay. So then at this point, the next one, who just came out and got shot by Claymore, kind of turns around, sees Claymore like over its shoulder, but just takes a nice big push and kind of starts coasting towards the cab, and manages to kind of grab on to the door that's sort of swinging open, but looks inside, sees you all, and you have another one standing in front of you, blood already beginning to start to bubble up near it, Koenig and Hutch, as it's kind of blocking your only retreat out of here. All right, so Barrett and Ripper, go ahead and make mobility rolls, and Abbott and Claymore
already
make
did.
observation rolls. If you did, sorry,
Already
just let,
did. One
what'd you roll?
success.
One success.
Okay, so both of you managed to kind of get within long distance range of like this platform, and you watch as pouring out of that same container, another 1-2 synths start pulling out as well. One of them looks to be female, one of them looks to be male. So there's two, they're just kind of floating in the middle of this platform, pulling, kind of going towards the cab. Another one has already reached the cab entrance. When you guys look over in the direction of where the actual windshield is, it's just kind of covered in synth blood covering, and a little, when you're hearing on comms like one's down, but there's like now 1, 2, 3 more bogeys going on.
So Jeff, can you remind me, or tell me for the first time, since this is our new chapter, what type of like weapons do we have on the ship if we need to just go the direction of?
Oh, just blowing this thing up? Yeah, it's in the character. You all should have access to the ship character sheet. It's the chum bucket.
Two of your Marines are on that ship. You're looking.
I think you should blow
there,
it. It makes
sir.
perfect sense.
I mean, not right now.
You have short lance ASAT missiles that are good at long range. There's a light railgun turret that's good at short range. Directly from the book. Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do proper initiative now. We sound there's actually more people getting involved. So
They built in initiative now, Jeff. I don't know if I found that out last night on stream.
no, I did not. How?
Just add us all to the tracker, and there's like a little die we can push, and it pops up a card in the chat
Oh, very nice.
and adds you to the tracker. Just don't ever push it at once, because you'll get like the same card. Everybody needs to like stagger themselves when they roll their initiative.
All right.
No, we'll all just go at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Make this fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise last night.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and hit it. You guys are all in the tracker.
I'm waiting for last. Just
Oh, there's duplicates, so we got 2 4s there.
Where's the initiative button?
The fist icon.
not on the sheet, but on
Yeah.
the combat tracker.
Yeah. What's the point of duplicates?
Yeah, I wonder if maybe the table it's running off of maybe is set for no duplicates.
I think Jen's the last one who needs to do it. Okay. So Barrett and one of the polys can go. Barrett, so you're about long range, and you can see that there's these 2, one male and one female synth that have started to swim their way out of this cargo container on board of this orbital lifter, and they seem to be moving in the direction of the cab. You're at long range, so if there's something you can potentially do at long range, you're welcome to do it.
I do have a pulse rifle that is long range, so
Okay.
that is what I would like to do.
By
I
the
would
way,
also
this is all thanks to Bert's 300 bits wanting hell to rain down. It was just going to be the one, but I'm like, nah,
Thanks,
let's
Bert.
put some more in there. So there you go, Bert.
Thanks, Bert.
Okay. Go ahead, Barrett. All right.
got a success.
Assuming are you shooting at the same one? You're shooting at one of the new ones that came out? Okay.
Yes.
All right. You can see you hit it, little bits of blood, like that synth blood start pointing out. We'll say the one that you hit is the exact one that's now going to go. But they're just going to do the same thing and just kind of push themselves forward and start to float towards what looks like the cab, as if they're all kind of converging on the cab. So then after Hutch and Ripper, you're both up. Ripper, you're at long range from one of them that have just come out of the cab. Hutch, you're inside the cab, and one of them has just presented itself in the doorway of the cab.
I take aim on one and obviously shoot.
Okay. All right, so someone shot. It was Ripper. Okay, so with a hit, absolutely. You, again, the last one that hasn't been touched has now been touched as its little bits of white blood begin to percolate outwards. Hutch, what do you want to do? There's one right there in the doorway that's trying to pull itself inside.
Take aim and fire.
Jesus.
6 damage.
6 total damage.
I'm still underneath the console, just firing wildly from under there.
And you haven't you haven't even ran out of bullets or anything.
No, not good.
Critical injury, ruptured fluid pump on this one as it loses its next slow action. It's pretty huge, actually. As you can see, a huge hole has opened up in like the bottom right hip, and there's just emptiness, and you can kind of see the moon below it, like just in that tiny little cut. Okay, so next, Ripper already resolved yours. So then the one that you just attacked is the one that's now up. Hutch, it will just kind of pull itself into the cab, and that's it. Doesn't really have anything else it can do. Then it'll be Koenig's turn. You now have a new one right in front of you.
Well, this thing ain't really meant for close quarters, so I pull off my sniper rifle and I try and give it another hole.
Okay.
Okay. I gotta roll stress again.
Okay, that is the sniper rifle. The scope. Did you roll the right one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll hit 2 damage. I'll roll another critical injuries table. System shutdown.
Nice.
It's a sniper rifle, so you just lower very carefully. You learn from what Hutch did on the previous one, and you just fire it like right into the center mass, and you can just see it rip out the central column, and it just kind of goes limp there. Eyes kind of dying.
No scope. Hutch, we got to get out of here.
Okay. And then the one that Ripper shot is now gonna go, and you can see that they're gonna again pull themselves toward the cab. So they're just all converging. So there's now a Polly, one of the female models, and there's the Paul, the male models, that are now converging on the cab. Kind of not even paying attention to the new ones that are coming. Then we've got Abbott. What do you want to do? You're at long range as well.
Well, Abbott's primary concern is getting Hutch and Koenig out of there.
Okay.
So he's gonna do everything he can to join them and, if necessary, pull them out.
Okay. Roll a mobility, and like based upon how well you do in your mobility, we'll kind of determine how well and far you move in like this atmo.
This is not his
0G.
forte. It's not even his.
I didn't think it
piano.
was anyone's forte, which is why I was throwing it at you.
Okay.
Okay. One success. You're able to move quickly, and you're almost completely caught up at this point with the 2 remaining synths that are now getting ready to enter into that cab. Like you're right behind them, and you'll be able to probably get into the cab on your next turn and maybe lend aid.
Okay.
And then Claymore bringing up the rear. What would you like to do?
It's a target-rich environment. I'm really tempted to just go full auto,
Do it.
but I won't, because I know Mama Bear wouldn't appreciate me shooting her synth. So I'll take aim.
Oh, I accidentally shot Abbott too. Look at that.
Oh no! Look what happened. Is take aim 2 or 1?
Take aim's what, +2 on the shot? Yeah, +2.
Yeah, it's +2.
Okay, I always forget to do that, so I appreciate it.
Again, you just keep yourself firm against some big chunk of metal that's just ruptured, and you aim and you fire. Okay.
Take it. You take it and you like it.
All right. Total of 4 damage. Okay. None of them are broken. The other 2 aren't broken yet, though. Go back around to the top, and it's Barrett who's at long range in Polly's turn. Barrett, I'll let you go if you want to do something before Polly goes.
If I can move and shoot, I want to try to get an angle and see how many more are going to be coming out of that
Sure.
cargo area.
If you go, okay, yeah, you want to go and look at the cargo container? Okay. Pull over, you look inside the cargo container, and you see what looks like just utter chaos inside, as there's all sorts of like cables and wires and looks like some kind of equipment. But you can also see very clearly that there are probably about a dozen more synthetics that seem to be tangled up in various pieces of equipment that are struggling to break free. They're trying to break free. And there's
All right,
also
everyone, we've got
there's
at
also
least a dozen.
there's also several other of these types of cargo containers on this lifter.
Okay. So I'll update everyone. I'll get on comms and just let everyone know. We've got at least a dozen more of these in the cargo hold, so we need to get everyone back out as quickly as possible.
I'll agree to that.
Sir.
This is not a birthday party I wanted to attend.
Can I shoot, or is that the only thing I can do? Is just take that?
Sure, if you want to shoot in here. It's like, it literally is like shooting fish in a barrel as they're all stuck and kind of tangled up with whatever kind of damage they took here.
Did I move too far to be able to shoot ones that are kind of endangering the rest of my group
No,
here?
because you're getting closer. You're just getting closer.
Okay. So I'll shoot at one that was
Yeah, that's
still.
Okay. I'll assume you're going to probably want to do the one that's been harmed the most. And so I will roll a critical injury on another one that's trying to get into the cab. Severe chassis breach on this one. So they... You kind of pull a old Bud McCall. And you just kind of de-gut them. And there's just a big hole where their stomach used to be as their synthetic organs just spill outward into space. That will be the Paul that you attacked. And then the Polly model will then pull herself inside the cab. 2 targets. Inside of this disgusting cab that has now 2 dead bodies of synths. 1 dead body of what looks like a frozen marine. Synth blood everywhere. And Hutch underneath the console while Koenig is like trying to push a synth body off of him. So 1 to 3, it'll be Koenig. But it's a 4. So she's going to launch herself towards Hutch. And she's going to attempt to...
Rude.
Let's see. She has some big... she has like a piece of metal that she's kind of got tucked underneath her arm from inside the container. And she just pulls it out and just smashes at you with it as a blunt instrument.
Oh, I'm gonna roll my close combat. To
Yeah,
try
go
and
ahead.
Avoid
Wow.
that. Okay.
Okay.
Stress.
All right.
I'm fine. I guess we're rolling armor for that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll armor. That's
Oh
my.
word. How much damage?
looks like 4 damage.
I am out.
You
No.
already? Oh my god.
I am broken.
Roll a
Oh,
critical
no.
injury.
Oh my gosh.
Did I get it?
Bert.
54. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh,
gosh.
gosh.
For an arm. I lost an arm with this character too.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Oh
I'm
my
down.
gosh.
I'm down.
That's fantastic.
Oh.
I've lost an arm yet again.
Well done, Bert. Well done.
Oh my god.
Boy, you're never playing patty cake again.
comes floating in, has this piece of the chunk of metal that's got this bladed side of it, swings down, smacks into him. He kind of goes limp, flips it over, takes the bladed side, and just clear cuts his arm severed, just kind of hanging there. Like the suit is still kind of connected, but you can see, Koenig, that the arm isn't. Not only that, there's a suit breach now, and he's completely out as red blood is now spreading all over the place, and Hutch's suit is now breached.
Bert, we're
I am
fucked
gonna
in
be the first
here.
to fall.
Well done, thank you, Bert. You're so great.
Oh, no.
Ripper has like a contemplative moment where it's like deja vu,
Oh God.
deja vu.
Oh, I know, right? I'm looking something up really quick.
Right arm, left
What
arm.
are the decompression rules, Matt? Do you know decompression rules? You got time. Go ahead and look them up.
I don't think there are any. I don't think
I
there are
wasn't
any.
sure. I wasn't sure Galen had mentioned him.
Yeah,
How
no,
could this
I'm-
happen again? Oh God, this is so good. Okay. Oh, it's fantastic. All right, so that was Hutch. It's your turn.
Can I fire at this thing? Just point blank. It's there.
You're broken though, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm broken.
Yeah.
I can't do anything. I'm just
Okay.
in shock at losing an arm. to
Okay.
a
I
synth.
think you can. Don't you get a you can crawl, right?
I can crawl. I guess I'll push myself off of the console and towards Koenig.
Meanwhile, as you're doing that, as you're pushing, you hear the young pilot's voice. Hey, is everything okay, guys? I wonder what's taking so long.
Everything's peachy. Now I gotta give a hand to you there, buddy.
All right, Ripper, you're up.
Deja vu.
God.
Ripper's gonna try to help out by shooting at the only things that she can see.
Yeah. There's one you can see that's right outside that's trying to enter into that cab.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's
Oh
Abbott.
God. You fire wildly until you're completely out of bullets. You start kind of drifting back a little further than you mean to, as you didn't really anchor yourself too well, and then eventually your gun is out of ammo.
I don't want to be out here.
Koenig, go ahead. So like you just saw a pretty. I'm gonna say go ahead and take a point of stress for seeing that horrible wrenching of Hutch's arm, and then it's your turn.
I'm going to take aim, and I'm gonna try and shoot
Hutch.
this. Not
Put him out of his
Hutch.
misery.
No, there's still time for that boy. You know,
Okay.
if he can't be a Marine anymore because of his injury, maybe he can still be a short order cook.
Okay.
You only need one arm to flip a pancake.
There are suffocation rules. I don't know if you want to use those.
Yeah, I think you're okay. It's what, stamina rolls?
Yeah, it's stamina.
Yeah.
Every turn.
Yeah, that's what I figured. We won't worry about it this turn because it just happened this turn. Koenig, go ahead and make your attack.
Yeah. So since I'm aiming, that's a +2, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna push.
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's so many dice.
oh no.
Oh my god! As you're just firing wildly, but like it kind of pushed itself underneath the console to get to Hutch, and you're just shooting at the console at this point until you hear, and you look up and you can see there's another one of these synths right at the door about to come inside.
So remind me, on roll stress with a rifle or with a gun, you're out of ammo, right?
Yeah, you're out of ammo.
Okay, I'm completely out of ammo now.
Yeah.
Oh no. We're all screwed.
Yeah. The male version of the synthetic now pulls itself. This one, however, has doesn't look great, but it will pull itself into the cab, and we'll go for Koenig, since he's the only one that's still alive in here, or still, a threat.
Yeah.
Just gonna be an unarmed attack, 1 damage. So it's just trying to reach out and kind of, you can see it's just trying to smash like your face
Yeah.
in, so like it can like break through the glass.
I took aim, so that was my fast action, so I'll go straight to armor. No, I take that 1 point. And congratulations, I am also broken.
Okay, roll up.
Oh my gosh.
Roll an injury test. Oh my god.
Load check.
This is great. Everything's great. Ruptured intestines.
Okay.
At least we get a whole shift.
Yeah.
That's a 6. That sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smashing away at your face, it's not working, so they just, with their hand, just sort of do the classic Temple of Doom thing where they start grinding into your space jacket and you just feel as blood starts to
I'll call out in a whisper over the comms. Barrett, everything's foobar. Just blow this goddamn thing up.
If you can talk, we can still come get you.
Got a goddamn fist in me, and not in the fun way. Just blow the goddamn thing up.
Just crawl towards the door and we'll pull you out. Then we'll blow
All right. The corpsman synth has arrived at the scene, and Abbott, what you see is utter carnage inside of this orbital lifter cab, where there's just synth blood and human blood intermixing, red and white particles mixing to create pink smudges. You can see that there's bullet holes everywhere. Hutch's arm is dangling, and you can see he's gasping for air. Koenig is currently trying to pull the arm of a synth out of his stomach. One of these synths looks like it's like just constantly losing all of its sort of inner liquids out. It looks like it's essentially going to fall apart soon. But the other one looks relatively healthy. So what would you like to do, Abbott?
Well, if it was nothing but white, Abbott would be on the offensive. But since there is red, he's going to go towards Hutch first, as he's going to attempt to save Hutch's life. I don't know if I need to repair the suit or fix the arm first, or what I need to do.
Okay.
As far as game rules go.
Yeah, I would say did you have was it fatal, Matt? Was yours fatal? I don't remember.
Oh yeah. That's
Like, but how long? Like, how quickly?
2 shifts. Here, let me look it up. I got the.
Oh, if it shifts, yeah, Abbott.
What is it? Severed arm, 1 shift.
Yeah,
So-
that's like a whole 10 hours. So
It's long term.
Same
Yeah,
for
it's
yeah.
gonna take a
So
while.
I would know then to fix the suit.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I come in, and what else do I have on me? I'm sure somewhere within the surgical kit and the individual marine pack, there's duct tape, because that's one of the best things to use for wounds in a real pinch. That and super glue, but super glue would be a little too slow.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, find a way to fix this suit.
Okay. Go ahead and you said you. I'm sorry. Did you say you had your duct tape, or you didn't have duct
I
tape?
have my surgical kit and my individual marine pack.
We're
I'm
assuming
sure
that
there's
in
some
the
sort of
individual marine
adhesive.
thing, there's got to
Yeah.
be something.
Oh yeah, I would imagine
Yeah.
that. So we'll say expend kind of fast action to kind of get into the CAD to get next to Hutch. Expend your slow action, just start wrapping whatever kind of tape you have, keeping as close to seal as possible to keep Hutch from suffocating here as blood is continuing to pour out of his shoulder. And I'll say for the sake of, we'll ignore suffocation on Hutch, since you actually specifically dedicated the time to this. And yeah.
I know all seems bad right now, but it's not over.
Claymore, you got that RPG on you? No, just kidding.
No, but I think at this point, now that there are lives at stake, it's okay for him not to worry about Abbott so much.
Okay.
So, yeah. I think I've had it. These motherfucking synths on this motherfucking ship. Going to go full auto.
Okay. You're going to full auto, like literally through the window, through the wall. Like you're just firing towards the cab, like where you think everyone is. So it's almost like blind firing in there. Go for it.
It's a smart thing to do, I think.
I think it's fantastic.
It's the best choice.
It is.
Okay. Do you want to push that?
Of course
Push
I
it.
do.
Push it.
Wow.
Total of 2.
Okay. Well, I'll say, just because I'm kind, it'll hit the one that was already pretty terrible. So I'll go ahead and roll on its critical injury. Let's see, how did it do? Destroyed arm serve as you rip its arm off. You just, and so now the one that it was just ripped off Hutch's arm now is missing one of its arms as well. So there's arms just floating around inside of this cab, like everywhere. It's amazing. Okay, so then next up we go back to Barrett. Barrett, you can see like you can tell from looking at them, like they're stuck. Like they're definitely stuck and they're struggling. Like eventually they might be able to break free, but who knows how long they've been here and how long they've been trying to get free. There's probably more pressing concerns as you
Yeah, so
hear them.
Directed my
freak.
attention back, to the ones that are at risk. So I'm gonna shoot at. Assuming it's a poly that's still up that I can shoot at.
You can shoot blindly into the cab through like that opening windshield area. Yeah, that's fine. There's 2 in there. Yeah. Okay. It's total damage.
I believe that would be 3.
3? Okay. Yeah, that'll put it at exactly 0. So I will roll. And you, as you're firing in, you manage to clip it in the leg. One of the legs goes flying. So then there's legs and arms. There's limbs galore in here. This is fantastic. It's a dream of Sergeant Hobart's. All right, and then it's gonna be Paulie's turn, who's seeing a new contender come into the. She'll go ahead and turn towards this synth model. She'll look at you.
I prefer the term artificial person myself.
She'll raise like her weapon, like this blunt thing, and then you can see her just go and then we'll just push past you out of the cab. Is there anything you want to do as she leaves?
Well, was she the one that inserted her fist into Koenig?
She's the one who ripped off Hutch's arm.
No, that one. Well, yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and try and just grab its head and like very Terminator style, like.
Okay. I'll say if you're gonna stay like kind of semi-blocking the way, and you just want to try to grab it to prevent it from leaving, just roll close combat.
Okay.
Okay. So you just kind of grab it, and you can see it kind of turns to you, and it's like trying to say something. You can see its mouth is moving. It's trying to communicate with you, but it's not functioning properly. Something's wrong with it. But you just kind of grab it, and just as it's trying to leave, grab it by like a chunk of its hair, and it just sort of head pulls back, legs fly out, and you kind of keep it immobile right inside the door. Hutch, you're okay now. Ripper, what do you want to do?
Well, seeing as how my long range gun is now dry, I mean, there's a lot of chaos going on, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Barrett, what do you want me to do?
I can keep shooting if you can go grab someone and pull them back out.
Hey, I'll go get him.
Okay. So you launch yourself inward, and you get right up to the cab, and you can see inside it's just a colossal mess. Koenig has a hand inside of his belly. Hutch is got an arm that's been taped back on, because that'll work. And then Abbott is grabbing this synth by the back of her hair as she's trying to leave the cab. Okay. So then it'd be Koenig at this point.
Koenig, I would advise you to go against your instincts. Do not remove the fist from your stomach.
God, I was just regretting the fact that I ain't got a grenade on me.
That would be catastrophic.
Yeah, but I'd get them.
A little warning first.
I've got one. And he just points. The grenade's hanging off his belt.
That's my boy.
So the other one, the one that has their hand inside Koenig's belly, will retrieve it. Will bring his hand back out, and then as parts of Koenig begin to spill out into the cab, and then we'll float back and push past where Abbott and Paulie are kind of locked in this strange staring contest, and we'll move in the direction of Ripper, kind of pushing past everybody just to get free. Adam, as Abbott, is there something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I would try and push this thing back into the room so that it cannot get to Ripper.
Okay. We'll just say contested strengths with this.
Okay.
That's a fail. And you manage to kind of push her past, and she floats kind of arm, because she's missing one, kind kind of flailing into the corner, and where she slams into the corner and kind of gets caught up in some of the debris inside here. Right. Claymore. What you want to do, man?
So at this point, there's not really a clean line of sight to shoot anybody. They're all kind of inside, correct?
Yeah, they're all kind of inside. You have a semi view of them through this like windshield, but also can kind of surmise where they're at.
Mama Bear, do you want me to go in there and crack heads? Or do you want me to maintain fire?
So we've got Abbott and Ripper are there to pull them out. So I say continue firing.
Will do.
Okay.
All right.
You also
I'll
look
take
into the
aim.
command ability too, by the way, Melissa, which can actually give, if you command people to do things, you can actually give them bonuses if they follow. Okay. Go ahead and roll critical injury. This is going to be on the Paul one that's chasing down on Ripper. Head dislocation. Its head just kind of is clinging to this one tiny tendril. There's like blue-white tendril sticking out of their neck. Then it's back around. The Polly woman got caught up. I'm going to see if she can sort of push herself free. I'm going to roll a little mobility test on her to see if she can redirect herself after having gotten pushed. And that's all she can basically do. So agility. Yeah, so she'll like kind of redirect herself and spring back towards where you are, Abbott. And then Barrett, it is your turn.
I'm just taking a look at that command.
Yeah.
It's a slow action though. And I want to make sure that I'm firing
Okay.
to try to keep this safe. So I'm gonna choose the.
Wow. Want to push?
What is this coming off of?
You should probably just push. You got two dying Marines inside the cab. There you go.
All right.
Please push.
Let me roll. Destroyed. Already have destroyed leg servos. Destroyed arm, head location, severe chassis breach. This one is dead. So say the male Paul is now dead. The one that was going after Ripper. The only one left is the female Paul that's inside. As it had all of those. One left. Hutch crawling out into space. Doors free if you wanted to try to crawl yourself out into space with one arm.
Sure.
Okay.
I am tethered, right? So I'm not just gonna fly wildly into space. I'm still tethered.
Yeah. I mean, unless Bert throws 300 more bits and then... Oh, that's a shame that
if
tether
I'm
got...
if I'm tethered, I'll launch myself off of the outside of the ship back towards our
Pull yourself out. And so you guys can see Hutch, like, suit covered in blood, is kind of pushed himself out of the cab. Koenig, you can do the same thing. There's really... Right at this point, you got Abbott, who's kind of, like, staked up a position by the door. Ripper is... Actually, I skipped Ripper. Ripper, what did you want to do?
I'll help whoever comes out first and
Okay.
get them started over.
You can, if you want, you can roll, like, you can maybe like do a mobility roll to try to grab Koenig and just sort of like, all right. So you just kind of launch yourself in and just sort of push and pull him out. And so now Koenig and Hutch have both been ejected from this cab. Remaining in the cab are Abbott, Ripper, and this Polly model. And then it's so Koenig, imagine you at this point you're just probably pulling the tether and moving, or is there something you want?
No, yeah, that's
You have
all
a
I can
fast
do
action.
is
You have a
just
fast, yeah.
yeah, just moving along, hitting the comms like I'm a damn meat kite over here. Look at these streamers as my intestines dangle below.
Adam on Abbott, you're in here. It's you, it's Ripper, and it's Polly. Both of the your injured compatriots have been thrust out into space.
Okay, so Polly is technically broken, right?
Yeah, both of the synths are broken. It's just a question of how long it takes them to get server shut down. She's taken 2 injuries, so basically
And
like a 4 and 6 chance.
So long as you have a synth's head, you can talk to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna rip its head off, and then I'm gonna go back towards the ship
Okay.
and make sure that I also catch up with Koenig to assist him as soon as I'm available,
Okay.
if I can.
Roll close combat. See if you can rip the head free.
Okay.
Oh no! As you
Look
reach
at all that.
out to try to grab it, this is what happens.
Remember how much you hate yourself, and then put that hit on him.
When she went to attack you, you saw her suddenly kind of glitch and stop. You go to reach out and grab her head, and you kind of glitch. You lose sight for a moment, and you hear like kind of a strange voice just sort of try to reach out to you in your brain. And when you look down, you realize your hand has just stopped, despite in the motion, has just stopped right next to her head. You're just not quite willing yourself to attack. Claymore, one more left.
Right then. I'll aim and fire. Get that set up and go.
Okay. Ruptured fluid pump. Already have. Arm servo already have. Okay. So this one is missing legs, arms, and fluid pump at this point. In head dislocation. Sorry, it had 3 injuries. So the only ones this doesn't have is severe chassis breach, which is the 5, and then the other, which is the 6. So this one is basically immobile. It's still functional. It could still technically attack if it was close enough to you, but it really can't do any. It's so harmed at this point. Like, you could easily just escape it. Which I'm fine to say we do, if that's cool with Abbott and Ripper. Is like at this point, do you just escape?
Well, I would definitely want this thing's head. I want to communicate with it
Okay.
because it was trying to say something, and I want to know what it had to say.
Okay. You can take this one, or you can grab one of the other ones from the other bodies that are floating nearby. If you try to take this one, I'm going to ask for a roll, but if you want to grab any of the others, you can just grab them on your way out.
Well, since they're different, they're not all the same.
Okay.
So I definitely want to take this one.
Okay. Roll close combat again.
Okay.
And Ripper, is there something in particular you wanted to do too? I'm just fast forwarding.
Getting the heck
Yeah.
out.
Okay, you're just getting the heck out. Okay, yeah. So Abbott, you're able to reach and just whoosh, and you just pull it free. Servo fluid just comes up, and you kind of push your way out of the cab. And at this point, everybody is now free of the cab. Everyone's sort of slowly kind of pulling along tethers, helping each other out as best you can. You, Hutch, Koenig, you come past one of these containers, and you look in, and there's like a dozen more of these things that are just stuck inside. You get this sense that maybe whatever. There's others as well. There's other containers that are still kind of tethered or connected in some way to what's going on here. But I'm going to say, just because I want to move on, you all are able to make it back to the ship in relative safety.
What's done is done.
What's done is, yeah. So you managed to make it your way back. Now, a couple questions then is you've got 2 people who actually have fatal injuries that need to be addressed, and then you have this container that's filled with synths. There was a console that potentially had data, but it got shot to pieces, and then there's all these synths, and you're still trying to do this without drawing the attention of the surface that is kind of doing these blind scans of orbit. So then my question to you all is, what are you doing?
So once everybody gets back, Barrett will just, kind of direct that, Hutch and Koenig are primary priority is to get them healed up, and she'll give instructions to Forrester to move us out of kind of range of this ship, and continue kind of assessing the track of where that orbit of that one is going to go.
Okay.
It looks like we're spending a shift on our ship
Okay.
fixing broken people.
So Forrest is going to pull away. He's going to find a place, he's going to find a different kind of orbit vector where you can kind of keep the orbital platform in sights, basically, in radar sights at least. So Hutch and Kona get brought to the the med bay. Hutch is missing an arm. Abbott, you can tell with great certainty that this thing's not going back on. Like he's going to need synthetic replacement of some kind. Koenig, you can tell, has had some pretty terrible damage done to his stomach, but it's sort of repairable. So do you want to spend some time doing this? Does anyone want to help Abbott with this, or is Abbott just doing this on his own?
Yeah, Abbott, as soon as the thing's head is on board the ship, he doesn't really care about it. He'll just set it somewhere. And it's no longer a priority. Just having it was a good thing. You can turn to that later. Or he may even hand it to Ripper because she's the contact specialist. So yeah, then he will. Which one had the shorter time frame for?
I think they were both one
fatality?
shift.
They're both one shift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He is going to pay attention to Koenig first, just simply because he was exposed to the vacuum a little bit longer.
Roll your medical test.
Okay.
Now the Nostromo music works.
Yeah.
Right. Do these kits automatically factor in, or do I have to? Okay,
No.
so I need to add one. Okay.
That's what Matt was talking about before, having to add in like the temporary bonus every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Claymore doing anything? Ripper? Anybody doing anything in particular? So while this is happening, Abbott, you tend to Koenig. You guys don't have like an auto dock or anything like that, so this is all you're doing this all by yourself as you get like a staple gun out and start to kind of piece it together after doing whatever repair you could.
I sympathize with Pinatas there, buddy.
I would like to examine the head while all this is going on.
Okay, yeah. You can go ahead and roll Comtech. And then, Abbott, did you want to now tend to Hutch as well?
I understand your need for anthropomorphization. It is a good coping method. And then I turn to Hutch. And yes, I will see to his arm.
Okay, go right ahead.
Add that modifier. Whew.
Okay. You manage to stabilize Hutch as best you can. There's not much you can do for his arm, but at the very least, he's not going to die. And both Koenig and Hutch probably get some drugs, some well-earned drugs, in their systems as they begin to recover in the med lab.
Yeah.
So while that's happening, Ripper, you start digging into this head a bit. You kind of plug it into a system as best you can, and see if you can communicate with it. And it lights up. You can see the eyes and like this scarred, sort of short-haired female head. Eyes open. It's got like awkward movement, as you can see some of the face motoring isn't working quite properly, and the eyes are kind of slowly rolling back in its head, almost like a China doll, but it's still there. Claymore and Barrett, is there anything in particular the two of you want to do?
I mean, I probably pleaded for at least a little bit for permission to shoot the rocket launcher, but acquiesced not to do so.
Mm-hmm.
No, not yet. We want to attempt to get down to the surface without drawing their attention with a blown up ship.
Okay.
Right. Well,
I was just testing that out.
Okay.
I'll just
I'll
be at the
deal
ready
with
if there's anything.
All right, so digging into the head, is there something in particular you're looking for, Ripper?
I did notice that it was going for me and kind of ignoring Abbott. So I'd like to dig into that a little bit more and see if there's like a kill order or something going on with it.
Okay. With one success, which is I think all you had, unless you wanted to push. Did you want to push?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to push anything right now.
Okay. All you can tell is that in place of, like, you start going through the code as best you can. You pull it up on one of the screens. This is taking
Take
literally,
Abbott if
this
you
is
wanna
taking
reroll.
hours and hours and hours, by the way. Boy, we could have used those rerolls for those critical injuries that they rolled earlier. It's a shame. That's a shame. But you start going through the code, and you can see that the place in the code where there would normally be behavioral inhibitors against harming humans, it has been replaced and is instead seems to be some sort of not allowing harm done to other synths. It's like a self-harm replacement. So it's not humans that are kind of the target variable that's disallowing that kind of violent activity, but rather synths. So these synths seem to be programmed to be able to attack humans, but seem to have kind of an awareness of not attacking other synths.
I will relay that. I assume over comms because I'm not next to everybody else.
Okay. So yeah, so Barrett, Claymore, even Abbott, I would say the three of you probably hear it.
Ripper, can you tell if that was a local update that was made to their programming, or is that sort of a mass remote update that was done? Is it anything that we could hack?
Not enough information yet. You wouldn't be able to tell that yet.
I'm gonna take a look at Abbott when he's done.
Okay, let's keep working on that. See if maybe that's something we can reverse.
Okay. Claymore, what are you doing for this shift? Abbott has been spending his time helping Koenig and Hutch. Ripper has been spending her time digging into the head of the synth. What are you doing?
I mean, he's not a medical guy. He's not a tech guy. So lacking any other direction from Barrett, he's doing push-ups or some other nonsense over in a different room.
Okay. All right. Barrett, is there anything in particular that you're doing for this shift? Well,
I am working with Forrester to track the path a little bit more, just to see if we're going to be on kind of a timer of how long we're going to be down and before this comes.
roll a Comtech.
Oh. That's not something I do well.
Push it if you like.
Yeah, we've got some free rolls.
Well, we don't do rerolls in Alien. Listen, we do stress removal and we do complication.
Oh, well,
We
good
heal
thing I didn't get
stress.
any stress.
Yeah.
Because I rerolled.
Here's the funny thing. With 2 successes, you're able to kind of, as you and Forrester continue to do the math on this thing, you can tell that, yeah, as a decaying orbit, it'll probably crash into the planet probably in about a year or 2.
Oh.
Doesn't look like it's you can it's a kind of a slow moving orbit. Yeah. I'll say with the bonus success, just because we're getting into the end, you can definitely tell that there's debris that's kind of in the same general area as that orbital lifter that does not have the same sort of composition as the lifter itself, suggesting that there's like some other thing that kind of got blown up or something like that.
Okay.
All right. Time passes. My favorite phrase. It's not. I hate that phrase. Time passes. A shift, in fact. Koenig, Hutch, you guys both wake up in the med lab, feeling sore as can be about 10 hours later. Koenig, you might not have all of your stomach anymore. Hutch, you most certainly are missing an arm.
Hello.
And there's that.
It is good to see that you're awake.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised.
Hell happened. Where's my arm? What's going on?
Your arm was severed in the middle of the fight.
You couldn't save it,
Yeah.
Abbott?
I could not. It was completely severed. When when your nerves are severed in that manner, they cannot be reattached.
What a pity. You'll never be able to hand jive again there, buddy.
However, there are some researches into cybernetics, but that is not my specialty. However, Koenig, you will notice that you will be visiting the latrine a bit more often.
God, this is terrible.
I was able to
We're going to have
reattach-
to acquisition for some better toilet paper here. I got to tell you.
Well, This should not change that too much. However, you did lose a bit of your large intestine, so it will be shorter.
You'll have a colostomy bag.
Oh, no.
I feel like
It almost came to that point.
Barrett and Alice made you some grits, Koenig.
I'll take that. I've had worse. At least it's not my ex-wife cooking it. All right.
I think Matt should re-roll his character as Chuck's ex-wife. Shake things up a bit.
Shows up on the ship.
She wakes up from
Amazing.
crying.
Where's
Had no
that
idea she was
piece of
there.
shit, Eric?
Well, she's just like the steak she'd grill up. Tough as shit.
So, what's the plan now? Because I genuinely don't know.
Orbital bombardment.
Guess we proceed with mission.
You guys don't actually have nukes. You just have basic missiles. You could blow up the orbital platform, but you couldn't do like orbital bombardment or anything like that. But you could blow the platform up.
That's gonna stay up here for quite some time. We can proceed down to the surface and probably
Put
won't.
some distance between us and them, right? I'd hate to think if one of them swam over.
Remember when I said that's not the ship you're looking for?
Well, you know, we got to do what we got to do.
When
The
you
good
do
news
what
is
you
now we
do.
know they can attack
Reminds
us.
me of my wedding night.
What
We
are
have
orders?
more
as I-
information now than we did.
What are
before.
orders as I turn to Barrett?
We go down. We take a look at who and what are scanning us. And we proceed with our mission. We're a shift behind where we should have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get down
Wait.
there.
Now we
Wade
know that we
through
can
a-
put you in front of us.
Yeah. Wade through an army of hostile synths, get to the data core. I'd like to put out the idea of distraction of some kind.
In normal cases, I would be towards the back, as I'm incapable of bringing harm to a human being. However, seeing as how these are synthetic, I would like to volunteer to go forward in the front. I have limited combat training. I can assist in this manner.
As long as you can be a meat shield, you're doing your purpose.
So,
Stick a flamethrower on you. You'll be set, buddy.
just one thing to bear in mind. If
What's
I
that?
am taken offline, it may be more difficult for you all to patch up wounds. But it
Abbott.
is something I am willing to do.
Are you able to run a self-scan so that if this reprogramming that occurred with the other synth were to be able to be done remotely, are you able to scan such that you could inform us?
I'm sorry, reprogramming?
Perhaps you missed the update from Ripper earlier.
I was face deep inside someone's abdomen.
Well, then it appears that the synthetic head that you recovered, good thinking there, has actually been reprogrammed to only injure humans and not do any damage to synths. We have as yet not been able to discover if this was a initial programming or a large-scale update that was done to all of the synths in the area.
They are incapable of harming me.
Yeah.
That is true.
And here I thought synths can multitask.
Well, we are capable of many things. It's dependent on how we are built.
Blame it on the creator, huh?
You,
Jeff, would I be able to leave someone, like one of our other crew, like the intelligence officer or someone kind of in charge of continuing the ComTech work that Ripper started?
Sure. Yeah. So you want them to, like, I mean, that's kind of what he's there for, is like you guys kind of
Okay.
collect the intelligence and he
Yeah.
sifts through it.
So that's the first bit of information we have, is this sort of reprogramming that we didn't quite get all the information on. So that's kind of my command to him.
Okay. Technically, he outranks you, except when it comes to like specific operational stuff. But like in over like an actual hierarchy, he actually has higher rank. But he doesn't get in the way unless circumstances demand it.
Okay.
But yeah.
This is Mr.
regard
Ellis,
to-
right?
Yeah. Theo Ellis.
In regard to your question, although I can perform some self-diagnostics, I think it would be best if I submitted myself to someone else, so that there was no room for doubt.
Don't worry, I got you.
Thank you.
You switch off your wireless packages, that way they can't give you an over-the-air update.
Abbott, is
Tremble,
that something you
baby.
can do?
I actually do not have over-the-air updates. My model was built that I could only be communicated with directly.
Even better.
Yeah.
However, since I was in contact with them, such a thing was possible.
That's true. Ripper, why don't you go ahead and plug into Abbott there and see if you can find anything fishy.
Oh, there's fishy. We're the chum bucket. What do you expect?
Well, fishier than normal. How's that?
Yeah, I'm digging around stressfully.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, as I'm looking at my guts splayed out, there are a few pieces that do look like fish eggs.
Good to know.
That is
It's,
an astute observation.
Well, if it comes down to it, we know who's the first round of emergency rations.
Is everyone on board with our plan?
Yeah, I'm in.
Whatever you say goes.
What are we gonna do with you, Hutch?
Maybe we can just duct tape a knife to the stump.
You know, I
That
heard a
never
story
works.
about a guy.
This legend of this guy.
Legend.
Player.
Hell of a Marine.
Make sure you have a grenade with you so you can always throw it if you need.
Now, was he southern or was he very southern?
There's only one right answer to that.
So,
Oh.
what was your plan that you're talking about, Melissa? What was Barrett asking them to do?
We're just going down to the planet.
Okay,
and
yeah, that's
starting
what I figured.
the mission.
Yeah,
that
I
we
rolled
were
the
given.
piloting test. So the piloting test. So he takes the ship Planetfall, and I feel like this is probably a good time for us to break as we descend down into Atmo above this destination, familiar to the players but not familiar to your characters. As we descend down to the same synth factory where it's strangely enough, Matt died in that one, too. So it's really
Yeah.
fun stuff. But yeah,
Deja vu.
we'll go ahead and stop there as we're right at time anyway. So yeah, that seems like a good place to finish up. Let's do some closing plugs. Let everybody plug what they got going on for the rest of the week. So we'll start with Chuck. What do the defenders have?
Oh, snap. Wednesday, swing by. You can catch Steam, Steal, and Murder there, Bert. He's running some Brindlewood Bay for us, you know. Golden Girls meets Cthulhu. Thursday night on Defenders, you can check us playing Watercolors and Warriors, our Ghibli-inspired 5th ed campaign. Friday, we got Basic Fantasy Role-Playing Game. Saturday would normally be our Forbidden Lands game, but a couple people aren't going to be available. So I got some stuff going on Friday night, so we're probably just going to call that. So yeah.
Okay. I don't know who those people
Couple
are.
people
It sounds
are.
like a bunch of
don't know.
jackasses, really.
Right?
Yeah. Well, they are. Jen, what do you said you have a double header tomorrow night? What's going on?
Yeah, at 6 p.m. tomorrow on my Twitch channel, Pixel Prowler, we will be playing Vermintide 2, and then at 9 o'clock tomorrow, and those are both Central Time, we will be playing something. I believe it'll be GTFO, which is what we should have been doing. Dun, dun, dun.
Adam.
Yeah, I'd just like to plug again that we're running some Zweihander and Flame of Freedom games at Gen Con, and we are also looking for GMs to volunteer. And Andrews McNeil will send you some nice swag if you do. And we'd love it if you could join us.
Awesome. Matt.
Tomorrow night, Garblight Games, Spectaculars, and Thursday night, what's it called?
Blades in the Dark.
I was gonna say Band of Blades. No, that's a different one.
Same
Blades in the
system. Yeah.
Yeah, same system.
Yeah. I gotta update my Matt link right now. It still refers to kaiju smashing. But yeah. And then finally, Jeremy, what's up?
If you enjoy checking out some independent comics, check out Black Blizzard on Kickstarter. And it's a pretty good time. It's about to reach goal. It's got the first issue ready. Already working on 2 and 3.
Awesome. As for Melissa and I, I'll be on with Matt tomorrow and Chuck on Wednesday. But normally we play Delta Green on Friday, Worlds Without Number on Saturday. But we're off this week. We'll be back again with more Alien in 2 weeks as we find out what the hell we're going to do with Matt. Do we just strap a knife into the socket where his arm used to be? Does he already tap into one of the backup characters? Does he quit playing with us entirely? Who knows? Who knows what could possibly happen? But thank you for everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you for Bert for throwing those bits that just completely changed the course of the campaign within the first 25 minutes. So that was a lot of fun. If you haven't caught our Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, they're over on our YouTube channel, so go ahead and take a look at those. Go watch the rest of these wonderful folks this week. I'm going to go ahead and put us on the end screen, and I'm going to throw a raid to one of our friends who's streaming right now, so hang tight, and we'll go see what other people are doing. So good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.